Hey, welcome back to the channel. We are going to start working on our fireplace. Although we're in the garage, we're not going to get a lot of work done in the fireplace. But one of the things that I wanted to do was to start building out this beam. So it's going to be a faux beam because I want it to be some older looking. So kind of the idea that I think I'm going to go. So if we take a look at this being the beam on the fireplace, and excuse my drawing here. So if we're looking at, really what I'm kind of thinking is the height of this is going to be 6 inches. The depth is going to be 8 inches. And then this length, I think I'm going to go 77 inches. So it'll be a box, and it'll be a box like this. But the corners, I'm going to take and do 45s so that we have this rollover right here. And then so that we can make it look like a beam, I'll just take and start, gosh, what we'll do is probably hammer it up, do a lot of different things to really rough it up. But that's what we're going to start doing. And the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these all to a 77-inch length. And then I'll take and go out in the barn out and back, and we'll rip these so that they're all 45s. Okay, we are back in the garage, and I was able to, I kind of just ran this right here, in the table saw just a little bit, just kind of straighten that out a little. Like I said, I mean, it needs to be close, but I don't want it perfect, because one of the things that I'm going to do is I'll spend a little bit of time in putting wood putty in and really banging it up and trimming the sides. I want it to look like a kind of a rough cut beam. So now basically all we've got to do is cut these to 7 inches. And with that being 7 inches, that's going to be the width of this. And we can then glue and staple this together. So I just realized I need one more 45, and it's got to be here. At 7 inches, I may be able to get by with it, but I need to cut it there. Actually, I need to do that on the entire front. Darn. So that means I have to go back out to, I have to go, what do I? I'm trying to think here. Yeah, I actually have to do it for both pieces. So I've got to go back out there, set this, and trim it again. Not a big deal. just have to set everything up again. I'll go do that. I'll be back. Okay, I think what I'm gonna end up doing is, it didn't take long. It was like a 10-minute, go out there, rip these down. Now I have them the way that I want them. I've got my glue set up. I've got my little nailer so that we can just kind of nail these in. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with the corners, and I'll use my little corner thing here and I'll get them set. I'll glue them. I'll put a few brad nails in there, and then I'll put a top on, flip it over, we'll do the same thing. But I actually kind of dry fitted it. I think it's gonna work pretty well. So let's just go ahead and take care of that. Okay, so just going to show you how not being perfect, and really, I mean, oddly enough, I wanted to be that way, but it would have been nice to actually cut these nicer, but I just didn't have the means in which to cut these precisely. But no big deal. Here's what we're gonna end up doing. You can see that there's spots in there. I don't know whether this is gonna be the top or the bottom. And the spots in here. I'm gonna really come in here and take and rasp and file and gouge, and so this is not gonna be perfect. So we actually want this to be rough, but I don't want the gap in there. I'll come in and with some putty and get that taken care of. But I want it to just look like it's been beat to death. And then we'll stain it. I think we're gonna stain it something darker. Not quite sure. I think we'll probably get some putty that maybe is a darker color. But we just don't want this to be nice and pretty. We want it to have some character. And it does look like this other side here is better. So probably what we'll do is this will be the top. But I'll come in here and I'll let this dry, but this will kind of give an idea. And I'll then come back over here with a belt sander and just start really beating it up. Well, one thing that I did is I just started playing around with stressing this, just beating on things, taking the rasp and really just getting in and trying to rough up the wood. Well, I went out and I got some putty and I'm back in here. You know, the hard part about all of this is trying to find all of your tools, because I've got them now in 3 places. So the condo, out back, and in here. And what I'm trying to hunt for is a putty knife. And, you know, I've just been throwing things and yanking things out and moving them. And I'm not having a good time trying to find everything. Probably what I need to do is just have a traveling kit of tools that I could take back and forth. That's always in the car. but I'll look around for a putty knife, and then I'm going to start puttying here. Now, one of the things that I did do is I did take the belt sander, and I started just belt sanding and cutting, and I rasped and made gouges. So that's coming together pretty quick. But I think this stainable wood putty going in here will be a little nicer, and it'll make that beam blend. So let me find the things that I need to find, and then we'll get into getting this putty on.
Always think of you when spring comes, like it's something in the air at that time. Don't know why. Always dream of you when spring comes. It's like the heat on my skin takes me back to the time met you on a Friday, halfway out at the door of the club, playing soul on the weekends. Stayed in bed till Wednesday, fell in love with you right there and then. I was young, couldn't see that.
So as you can kind of see, we actually did that all with my fingers, which I actually don't think a putty knife would have really worked really well. But I first took and kind of rasped really hard around the corners, because you saw that there was a lot opened up there. So what this did is I could get in pretty deep and get that putty in. Now I just smeared it on here, and that's okay, because once it dries, then I'll just take a sander, get that belt sander, and just take it down, smooth it out again. I'll probably beat some more on it to give it some more character. I've got some other things down here. Okay, so that is set. So one of the things that I thought maybe that was 5 inches, and we lucked out because I cut those at 4, and then I'm thinking, oh, I've got 1.5 inches there on that 2x4, but they fit in. It works just great, and that's what we're going to be mounting those to. So like anything, I just kind of go for it, whether it's ready or not. This is where we're kind of coming from right now. I was going to open up the grain, but gosh, I find it's just so much better if I don't put anything in it, if I don't put any water on it, and then that just kind of, it's the splotchiness, that's what we want. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of get the rest of this, and let's see what we come up with. So all I can say is wow. This is really starting to look good. I'm just pouring it in. This is actually the bottom, but it still has a lot of character in it. I didn't even let this stuff dry over here, but that's okay. I'm gonna finish this out. I don't even know if I'm gonna have to do any additional sanding. The one thing that I'll probably do is maybe put a few coats of polyurethane on it, so it'll be a little bit more durable. So what do you think? I think that's going to work out just fantastic. This could actually go a little darker, but I think it'll be good. Okay. A little bit of cleanup now. My hands are sticky. I may dip a little of these in and kind of do a little something with those as well. But boy, it's really got a lot of character in it. So I'm real happy with what it looks like. So I think for now, I think we'll be finished. We'll let this dry overnight, but then I'll put, I've got 1 coat poly. I'll put on it so that, it'll kind of seal that a little bit better. Maybe put a little sheen on it, make it look good. But I think we're getting where we need to be.